I call to order this reorganization meeting of the Township Committee of the Township of Morris this Thursday, January 2nd, 2025. The time is now 7:02. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required by law. Specifically, notice of this meeting was emailed to the Daily Record and Morris Newsbee on January 4th, 2024, and posted on the Township of Morris website. The agenda and resolutions for this meeting are available at www.morristwp.com under Agenda Center. Certain portions of this meeting may be closed to the public for the purpose of personnel and/or other matters as outlined in the Sunshine Law. The organization meeting is primarily ceremonial in nature, and therefore there will be no public comment. Notice to members of the governing body and township staff: any use of electronic devices during this meeting shall be used solely for the purpose of township business. It is my pleasure to introduce Reverend Father Thomas Fallon, pastor of St. Thomas More Roman Catholic Church, who will lead us in the invocation this evening. Father.
Happy New Year, everybody. Call to mind God's presence and our governance entrusted to us therein, in the very presence of God. Heavenly Father, we humbly come before you seeking wisdom for our local government officials and governing body, school boards, legislative bodies, everyone striving to steer the public into the right direction. We are grateful for these servants taking up the stewardship for the good of all. Father, you are the source of justice and peace and the end of indeed our task here. Bless us and keep us as we do all things under your guiding hand. May it be evident in every decision made. Grant us steadfastness and respect for all as we continue to serve the community to which you've entrusted us. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Father. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Township Administrator Tim Quinn. After the Pledge of Allegiance, please remain standing for a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would ask that you remain standing with the governing body to take us time to remember and honor the victims and survivors of the New Orleans terrorist attack. Our thoughts and prayers are with those affected by this tragedy. Thank you.
The next item of business is the swearing-in ceremony of the committee members Donna J. Gariglia and Mark J. Jorfy. I will now read the statement of determination from the November 5th, 2024 general election, certifying the election of Donna Gariglia and Mark Jorfy to serve a 3-year term on the Township Committee. Statement of determination. A statement of determination of the Board of Canvassers relative to an election held in the Township of Morris, County of Morris, and State of New Jersey for the election of certain municipal officers for the municipality on the 5th day of November, 2024. The said board does determine that at the said election, Mark Jorfy for Township Committee for 3 years and Donna Gariglia for Township Committee for 3 years was or were duly elected to the office and for the term above set forth. I now invite Mr. Jorfy to come forward, accompanied by Township Attorney Jared Cantor, who will administer the oath of office this evening. Joining Mr. Jorfy are his wife Kelly and their son Leo, who will be holding the Bible for the ceremony.
You, Mark Yorkie, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and will bear faith and allegiance to the same, and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, so help you God?
I do.
All right, repeat after me. I, Mark Yorkie,
I, Mark Dorothy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
impartially, and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the position
of the position
of committee member of the Township of Morris,
of committee member of the Township of Morris,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Yeah, yeah.
Next, I'd like to welcome Ms. Gariglia to step forward for her oath of office. She will be joined by her granddaughter, Caroline, who will hold the Bible for this occasion.
You, Donna Garriga, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and bear faith and allegiance to the same, and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, so help you God?
Yes.
Repeat after me. I, Donna J. Garriga,
I, Donna J. Gariglia,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
impartially, and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the position
of the position
of committee member of the Township Committee of the Township of Morris,
of committee member of the Township Committee of the Township of Morris,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I'll now proceed with the roll call. Mr. Gazelle.
Here.
Ms. Griglia.
Here.
Mr. Jorfi.
Here.
Mr. Janata.
Here.
Mr. Ravitz.
Here.
We will now entertain nominations for the position of mayor. May I have a motion?
Madam Clerk, I'll nominate Committeewoman Donna Gariglia for Mayor of 2025.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Are there any other nominations?
I'll make a motion and we close the nominations.
Seeing none, we will proceed a roll call vote. Mr. Gazelle.
Yes.
Mr. Jorfi.
Yes.
Mr. Janata.
Yes.
Mr. Ravitz.
Yes.
Ms. Griglia.
Yes.
Congratulations, Mayor.
Thank you.
Griglia. This evening, Mayor Gariglia's granddaughter Romley will hold the Bible for the oath of office, which will be administered by Township Attorney Jared Cantor.
You, Donna J. Garriga, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and bear faith and allegiance to the same, and the government established in the United States and in this state, and the authority of the people, so help you God.
Yes.
Repeat after me. I, Donna J. Garriga,
I, Donna J. Gariglia,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
impartially, and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the position
of the position
of Mayor of the Township Committee of the Township of Morris,
of Mayor of the Township Committee of the Township of Morris,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Wait, where are we? Nomination for mayor, page 4.
Where am I? Aren't we doing, we decided.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, we're going to swear.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much. Next, we will open the floor for nominations for the position of Deputy Mayor of the Township Committee. May I have a motion?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion.
Thank you.
I'd like to nominate my friend to my left, Deputy Mayor Jeff Grazel for the year 2025.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for Deputy Mayor? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Ravitz,
Yes.
Mr. Janata,
Yes.
Mr. Jorfi,
Yes.
Mr. Griselle,
I think
so,
yes.
and Mayor Griglia.
Yes. Congratulations, Mr. Grazel. The oath of office will be administered
By Jared.
by Attorney Jared Cantor. Deputy Mayor Grazel will be sworn into the office this evening. His son Jacob will hold the Bible, and he will be accompanied by Mr. Grazel's partner, Eva.
I just want to make sure my rabbi knows it. You, Jeffrey R. Riddell, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and both faith and allegiance to the same, as the government established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, so help you God. Repeat after me. I, Jeffrey R. Riddell,
Yes.
I, Jeffrey R. Riddell, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially and justly, perform all the duties of the position of Deputy Mayor of the Township Committee of the Township of Morris,
Deputy Mayor of the Township Committee of the Township of Morris,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
Justin
So help me God.
Strickland. Congratulations, Jeff. At this time, I would like to recognize our dignitaries that are here, and I'd like to start with Bethany Miller on behalf of Representative Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill. I would like to recognize Assemblywoman Ora Dunn from the 25th Legislative District, and Assemblyman Christian Barranco. I'd also like to recognize former Mayor Kathy Wilson in the back row, County Commissioner Christine Meyer, Municipal Governing Body members Nathan Umbriak, the Council President from Morristown, and Justin Strickland from the Chatham Borough Council. And also like to recognize Chad Liebenauer from the Morris Township Public Library. Thank you so much. I also have one more. I would like to recognize Mary Knowles from Elect New Jersey Women. Appreciate you all coming out tonight. Before I begin my remarks, I would like to offer, on behalf of the Township Committee, we would like to offer our condolences to Rabbi Moish Hershon on the passing of his wife, Pearl. We stand with our Jewish neighbors on remembering her as a beloved member of the community. I want to begin with saying thank you to so many of you. To my husband, David, who's here in the audience, your dedication for more than 43 years has always guided me in the right direction. When I hesitated to take on a new role, you asked the right question, so my answer would always be yes, and your judgment has never been wrong. To my children, Julie, Pete, Danny, and Jeff, thank you for making the decisions in my life a little easier and teaching me as a parent to ensure that empathy and understanding would prove to be the most important aspect of almost every decision I had to make. To my 7 grandchildren, there's not a day goes by that you have not been able to put a smile on my face and make me realize whatever challenge was presented, I could handle it. To have my granddaughters, Caroline and Romalie, who stood with me tonight as I was sworn in, this is a very special memory that I will always cherish. Hopefully, they will remember this and as young women choose to continue a pathway where hope and kindness, volunteerism and caring, acceptance and understanding guide the decisions they make. To my fellow committee members, thank you is not enough to express how grateful I am for your work and dedication. Each one of you contributes to our shared effort to advance our goals for the community every day. A special thank you to my running mate, Committeeman Jorfi, for helping run a successful, albeit easier, campaign with the help of all the volunteers who continued to work for us while steadfastly working as hard as they could for so many others running for office. Your work was not in vain. All contributors to the democratic process, regardless of party, play such a key role in our democracy. We must never lose faith in the people's right to choose our leaders and work towards the common goals that unite us at every level of government. Many thanks to our Morris Township professionals, Administrator Tim Quinn, Township Clerk Suzanne Walsh, to our Township Attorney Jared Cantor, and all of the employees in every department who keep Morris Township thriving. Our volunteer committees are filled with dedicated residents who bring their expertise to share and provide solutions to the very issues they see and experience throughout our town. I would also like to acknowledge the surrounding municipalities' mayors group that I am part of and the relationship we continue to build to work together on solving the concerns we share that affect all of us throughout Morris County. But most importantly, I would like to recognize all the residents of our community for your continued support. We are blessed to be part of such a great place with so many distinct neighborhoods, each with a character all their own. I also want to acknowledge those communities grieving, those affected by the terrorist attacks in New Orleans and Las Vegas, and those who have lost loved ones in the plane crashes in South Korea and Kazakhstan. It is during these times of inconceivable loss and sorrow that we need to come together and show our support for those communities. We also need to join together and show that acts meant to divide us and create fear and terror will be met with unity, support, and courage. So many of you here in this room in our community demonstrate this courage every day. Our first responders, fire and EMS, our law enforcement, our doctors and nurses, and all of our public servants. I was taught by my father that public service is an act of courage because you're always putting your community members first. You are working to unify even when others are trying to divide. You stand up for the members of your community by creating process and procedures that work for everyone and make improvements that benefit everyone. You advocate and listen to your residents, especially when they don't agree with you. Serving your community is courageous, and many times it forces you to make a decision for the greater good that will have repercussions for a certain few. 2024 proved to be a year filled with exciting new starts on projects like the Collinsville Playground and the Red Bulls Training Facility, the opening of new businesses at the Morris Marketplace, the award-winning Southgate Parkway project, the excitement of securing Jean Street for a new community center and a senior bus for the future. Infrastructure improvements throughout the entire community with more sidewalks, safer intersections, looking into more bike paths, and cleaning up and providing more walking trails, along with our seniors who now have an extensive site for resources, and they continue to look at better ways of communication and expanding services to fight, especially against isolation and loneliness. Two things that also affect our veterans that we're working towards helping to resolve. The collaboration between our communities has also proven to get more people out and involved, increasing our attendance at so many of our events, especially those like Morris Township in Motion. Collaborative community outreach in 2024 included Coffee with the Mayor, Coffee with a Cop, sessions for our seniors run by our health department, as well as our Senior Citizens Advisory Committee. Our Economic Development Advisory Boards focus on creating tools for small business to thrive, and our Environmental Commission and Transportation Advisory Committees setting up at the Winter Farmers Market to bring residents in to discuss their feedback and increase our reach. As we look to 2025, there is no doubt we still have challenges ahead. We will continue to keep you up to date on our progress with affordable housing needs, the impacts of climate change on our community, especially with flooding and stormwater management, incorporating our complete streets policy in new infrastructure improvement projects, and ensuring safety on our roads is a priority for all users. Renewing our commitment to greener energy and our environmental objectives, balancing our budget to continue to provide everything you need without burdening our residents with additional costs, and providing all the fun activities through our Parks and Rec programs, our concerts, sports, pools, and all the other summer events we run for those of all ages. As mayor and a part of mental health awareness, I am going to be working on putting together a children's sports program in collaboration with some professional sports groups and their foundation members to help provide kids with activities to get them out and moving and away from so much screen time. The adverse effects of kids dropping out of sports at very early ages, even at our recreational levels, leaves them without some of the most valuable lessons for health and wellness that are hard to achieve later on. I pledge to work to serve every member of our community as your mayor, alongside my fellow committeemen, contributing so much of their time to advance the success of the township. We do not always agree, and the dialogue on the dais during our most recent meetings is an example of the transparency and openness we want to continue to share with the public. Our team will never stop our commitment to serving our community. And speaking of service, I want to end with some inspiration from President Jimmy Carter, who among all his accomplishments, his service to community was his greatest. He never forgot about his community in Plains, Georgia. He never stopped supporting them. Even after holding the highest office in the country, he did even more. He worked countless hours to build homes, and those homes built communities. We are so blessed in Morris Township, and may we never take for granted the roof over our head, the clean water from our spout, the acceptance of inclusion among our neighbors, and the safety we feel on a daily basis. So I want to leave our community with this quote from President Carter. I have learned that our greatest blessings come when we are able to improve the lives of others. And this is especially true when those others are in need. Thank you, and God bless you all. The next item on the agenda is commentary from each township committee member. And we'll start with committee member Siva Janata.
Thank you, Mayor Greglia, and congratulations on your being sworn in, as well as Deputy Mayor Jeff Griselle and committee member Mark Chorpy. It has now been a year since I was sworn in as a member of this township committee. And in this 1 year, I have learned a lot and was helped by my fellow committee members, as well as the administrator, Tim Quinn. I was also helped by the township professionals and the volunteer members of the various committees, like environmental, transportation, and historic preservation. Some items that I had wanted were not completed as of yet, but I'm confident that we will get a tree ordinance and stormwater management ordinance. And if you haven't noticed, we have native plants placed in front of Town Hall, which is going to be an all-season event. And we will look to have more native plants in other township facilities, as well as different parts of Town Hall. And the Environmental Commission will also assist in some of that, as well as look into composting, dark skies initiatives, again, promoting native plants and the do not plant list, and revising the site plan reviews, as well as developing an environmental resource inventory, or ERI, which is going to be used for our upcoming master plan revision due in a couple of years. And will be helped hopefully by the Highlands Council, which we have the possibility of joining soon. And as you've watched these committee hearings, I'll continue to highlight historical events and places of the township and of the region. And we'll also plan for 2026 celebrations and commemorations starting this year, since 2026 will mark the semi-quincentennial, the 250th anniversary of the nation's founding. New Jersey would be a major contributor in the celebrations, and many municipalities are expected to participate. Morris Township will definitely be play an honored role, since the Continental Army stayed here twice. In fact, the first time was on these very grounds. And speaking of historical events, I just recently watched the biopic of Bob Dylan, and at the very beginning, if you haven't watched it, Dylan is visiting his idol, Woody Guthrie, at Greystone Hospital, located not far from here. While I was watching it, it was a missed opportunity to film at the actual site where Greystone was, with its imposing Victorian architecture, which would have looked great on film. But alas, it was knocked down about a decade ago. And that hurts my historic preservation heart right there. Morris Township has many such locations that can be used by film studios. And New Jersey's Film Ready initiative has been encouraging many movie studios to film here. The state is geographically compact with variety of looks in a short space. There's also tremendous studio production infrastructure. If you don't know, they're building studios in Bayonne and in Sandy Hook. And they've also been encouraging local municipalities to upload photos of sites, both public and private, to their state-run database, where studios can then peruse the photos and to see if they fit there. They can be worked in any future project of theirs. And now the township has been the site for movies and TV shows and commercials, but so far this has been done informally. The Film Ready initiative will make it more formal, and we will look to begin this process in the coming year. Also in 2026 is the FIFA World Cup of Soccer, or football. The finals and some preliminary games will be held at MetLife Stadium. The plan is for 39 days of activities statewide, and they'll work along with the 250th anniversary celebrations. Now, this is a great opportunity for Morris Township, since the Red Bulls training facility would be used for one of the teams to practice. Plus, many local small businesses can be involved in the effort. And not everyone will be able to have tickets to the game. So they'll find from other venues to watch it. So there's a lot of potential for us here. And remember, what happens in 2026 begins this year itself. But I must also note the recent tragic events in the new year that cannot be ignored. Although local township issues take precedence, we are affected by events that happen both near and abroad. Our hearts go out to those in New Orleans and Las Vegas, and we also acknowledge law enforcement for both federal to local in their continuing preventive measurements, both known and unknown, which includes the recent arrest of a bomb maker in Virginia as just one example. The motives of these perpetrators may not be fully known, but hatred of others is definitely a key component. We are a diverse and pluralistic nation. Some may think that this is a weakness, but I think this is a strength. We have gotten along with each other for quite a while. Our township is, as an example, mirrors the country in its diversity. For example, the Morris School District is well known for being one of the most diverse and successful school districts in the nation. We differ in many ways in race, religion, ethnicity, and ideology. But by living in close proximity with each other, we have the chance to avoid being in isolated silos. We offer ourselves as a window for others to see our cultures and ourselves. In turn, we are allowed to see through the windows of others. In this way, we are able to, at minimum, tolerate and respect each other. With that, this lesson is learned by many across our land. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Committeeman Janata. Committeeman Jorfi.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. Serving Morris Township has been and continues to be one of the great honors of my life. And I am grateful for the trust that I've earned from our neighbors to serve another 3 years on this governing body with everyone up here on this dais tonight. Thank you to all of our neighbors and residents for allowing me to represent you on the Township Committee for another 3 years. Thank you to our dedicated campaign volunteers and supporters who have not only made 2024 possible, but many, many years before that possible as well for me and Donna and other members of this governing body who are on this dais. I'd like to thank Mayor Gariglia for your hard work in the campaign last year and for your hard work leading the township last year. Donna has proven herself to be an effective leader and powerful advocate for Morris Township, and I'm grateful that she will continue serving us as mayor for another year. I'd like to thank my family for their continued support of me serving Morris Township, especially my wife, Kelly, and my 9-month-old Leo. My parents, Barbara and John, my brother, JT, and my sister, Alexandra, my brother-in-law, Jimmy, my nephews, Christopher, Tommy, and James, and my uncle, Johnny, for always supporting me, whether they're at home or far away down in Maryland where some of the family lives. I'll be honest, having a new addition at home and fulfilling my commitments here in the township has been a little challenging over the past year. And I'm beyond grateful and thankful for my wife, Kelly, for supporting me in my endeavors and helping work on behalf of our residents here in Town Hall and trying to figure out how we juggle our various pursuits and figure out our new work schedules. Further, I'd like to thank my colleagues on this dais, both elected and our township staff, for working with me over the past year as my schedule continues to be in flux. Jeff, Bud, Jared, Tim, Sue, and Siva, thank you for all of your hard work and for working with me as I figure this out. Thank you to our township staff who work tirelessly behind the scenes throughout the year serving our residents who don't often get acknowledged. We have a lot of great people who work not only here in Town Hall, but at the DPW, but at the police department and the firehouses. Across the township who do so much for our residents that some people have never met before. Thank you to them. I'd also like to recognize a few former committee members for their support and advice over the past several years. Mayor Kathy Wilson, Mayor Peter Mancuso, and Committeewoman Tara Olivo Moore. Thank you for the three of them for all of their support. Lastly, I wanted to thank the firefighters from my second home of 15 years and counting from Hillside Hose Company for their brutal honesty and of opinion over any decision I've ever made in Town Hall. Sometimes the brutal honest truth is a little bit refreshing. As I look to the next 3 years, the commitment I made 6 years ago when I was first sworn in, I think still holds true today. And that's that I will do everything I can to ensure our kids have the same great experience growing up in Morris Township that I was afforded back in the day. This promise has taken a whole new meaning to me with a new baby at home. Over the next 3 years, I'll continue to support worthwhile public projects like building our community center so that families, kids, and seniors have a great place to enjoy and come together. I'll continue to support crafting and passing responsible budgets to ensure our residents have a stable tax rate. I'll continue to work to find outside funding sources to help pay for our public projects, whether they're from the federal, state, federal or state governments or other partners, like those going towards our senior bus and those helping fund the Collinsville Playground reconstruction project. I'll continue to support our first responders to make sure that not only remain safe, but so too do our neighbors in our neighborhoods. And I'll continue to support funding services for our residents that they rely on throughout the year while finding opportunities to save us money. 2025 is sure to be another challenging year, but I am confident that the members of this governing body and our dedicated township staff will continue to deliver for our residents in Morris Township. With that, Mayor, I'll yield back. Thank you.
Thank you, Committeeman Jorphy. And just before I move on to Committeeman Ravitz, for those young ones in the audience, if you do have to go, please feel free. I know for them, this probably gets a little bit
Well, there goes half the audience.
much. But thank you guys for being here. I know you have a ride to get back home, back down to Fairhaven. So drive safe and thank you. Love you all. With that, I will turn it over to Committeeman Ravitz.
And here, and thank you, Mayor. Here, I was just about to say, it's so great to be up here on the dais and actually talking to a room full of people. All too often, we are talking to thin air. So thank you all, and God bless. I just want to say good evening, friends and family and neighbors. Happy New Year to you all. I hope you all had a joyous holiday season, whatever you celebrated and however you celebrated it. Congratulations to Donna Gariglia on her election win and being appointed as mayor, and to Jeff Grazel on his appointment as deputy mayor. Congratulations to Committeeman Giorfi on his election win also. The residents of Morris Township are indeed fortunate to have such dedicated people representing them. And I think I can safely speak for this team up here on the dais that we look forward to working and serving the residents of the township in 2025. As we step into this new year and a new chapter, we are reminded that each new year is more than just the changing of a calendar. It's an opportunity to embrace hope, envision a brighter future, and take the necessary steps to make it a reality. President Jimmy Carter once said, I think there's going to be a theme up here with Carter, once said, we must adjust to the changing times and still hold to unchanging principles. These words resonate as we reflect on the past year's challenges. The world around us may shift and evolve, presenting new hurdles and opportunities, but it is our unyielding commitment to compassion, kindness, and resilience that will guide us through whatever lies ahead. This year, let us commit to being architects of hope. Hope is not a passive emotion. It is an active force. President Carter, again, believed in the power of community, saying, we choose to alleviate suffering. We choose to work together for peace. We can make these changes, and we must. These words remind us of the power we hold in our collective hands, whether through small daily acts of kindness or larger collaborative efforts. Each of us has the capacity to contribute to a better world. Let us also take a moment to appreciate the blessings in our lives and remember those who may not be as fortunate. President Carter, again, known for his humility, once reflected, my faith demands that I do whatever I can, wherever I am, whenever I can, for as long as I can, with whatever I have to make a difference. This year, let us adopt that spirit. Let us give more love, and build more bridges of understanding and empathy. As we move forward in 2025, let us resolve to face the future with courage and determination. Together, we can create a world where hope is not just a fleeting feeling, but a foundation upon which we build our lives. We have more in common than should ever divide us, which we will rediscover by talking to each other and not at each other. Lastly, remember to be kind as you go throughout your day. Kind to yourselves, kind to others, because kindness makes a difference. Happy New Year to each of you. Let's make this one year of hope, progress, and unity. Thank you, and God bless America and the land that we love. Mayor?
Thank you, Committeeman Ravitz. And as I turn to our Deputy Mayor, Jeffrey Grazel, before you give your remarks, just want to say how I'm looking forward again to serving with you and appreciate all your expertise and input that you provide and discussions that you have to help guide me in some of the decisions, especially over this past year and going forward. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, neighbors and friends. I'm honored, so honored to be seated here on this dais representing my fellow citizens here in Morris Township. This is my 12th year on the governing body here in Morris Township, and that spans 4 elected terms over 19 years from when I first started out. And when I started, I never had any idea that it would last for such a long time. I am truly humbled by the continuing support I get from all of you and from many members throughout the community. As I said before, I do not view myself as a politician, but rather as a public servant representing my fellow residents here in Morris Township. Sitting on this governing body is one of the ways I choose to give back to my community. And as a public servant, it is very important for me to hear from our residents on issues that are important to them. I answer every single email that I get, and I have really tried to solve those issues that people are having problems with. I do not ever hesitate to contact me if there's anything you would like to discuss or get my opinion on. As an example of that, back in 2008, when a group of residents along James Street requested a sidewalk down their street, that blossomed into a vision of connecting those residents with Morristown at one end and Ginty Field and Ginty Pool at the other end. And this goal took a great leap forward this past year with that beautiful multi-use pathway that we have along Southgate Parkway. This spring, we will connect Southgate Parkway across South Street to a new sidewalk that will be constructed on Dwyer Lane. And the final connection that needs to get done is across 287. So I'm hopeful that we tackle that this year and that the long-term vision can be complete. And it's just a great example of listening to our residents and then delivering something great for our community. As for this governing body, of which I am a proud to be a member of, I would like to first congratulate Mayor Donna Griglier for her continued leadership of this body and for being reappointed as our mayor. I look forward to working with you again as the deputy mayor and growing our partnership. Thank you to our other committee members, Mark Jorpy, Bud Ravitz, Steve Janata, for their dedication to our municipality. Congratulations, Mark, on your reelection. Very well deserved. I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you to get great things done and special projects that each of you will help us accomplish in the coming year. I want to be clear that even though we bestow the titles of mayor and deputy mayor, each of the other committee members do a lot of work to support the town. We each sit on what are called standing committees with oversight over various functional responsibilities across the municipality, from finance to police to recreation, all the departments. And shortly you will hear the assignments that we will each have for the standing committees for this year. In addition, I am hopeful that each member of this governing body will also take on a special project that will help move the community forward. However, the mayor in particular does carry an increased workload on the governing body, so I do want to thank Donna, our mayor, for taking that on again.
Welcome.
I have a few other thank yous I'd like to make. Thank you to all my family for all your support through the years. I was hoping that my mom was going to be here tonight to hold the Bible for me. Some of you might remember she had COVID last year and couldn't make it, and today she just returned from a trip this afternoon and was too tired to come here, so she's watching at home. But I wanted to say, hi, Mom. My two boys have always been through a lot of swearing ceremonies across their lifetimes, and they would prefer to be skiing rather than sitting here in the meeting room. One of them is skiing, but the other one, and he's watching on Zoom, but the other one is here with me, and I'm so proud for him to be here with me. I hope I have set a good example for you both, as well as setting an example for the other young adults that we have in our town about the importance of giving back to our community. It's really important for everybody, and I hope it's learned at a young age. I would also like to thank my partner Eva for all her support this past year and for her tolerance of all the meetings and events that I have to go to. So not only do I do this work on behalf of the residents, but I serve on several other community boards that have meetings and events of their own. So thank you for putting up with that. Many have sat in these seats across the dais here before us now. So I wanted to thank my past colleagues who have previously sat on this dais for their commitment to the community. I have learned a lot from former mayors Peter Mancuso, Kathleen Highland, Rick Watson, and Kathy Wilson, all of whom still live in our community. I appreciate their dedication to our town. And I wanted to thank Peter, Kathleen, Rick, and Kathy, especially Kathy, for being with us tonight. And I wish them well in the coming year. Thank you to the many volunteers that support our town. On our agenda tonight, we will appoint volunteer members to all our boards and committees that have seats with expiring terms. All these residents who serve as volunteers on our boards and committees do a wonderful service by giving their time to make our town a better place for everyone else. As they say, it takes a village. So thanks as well to the many volunteers across the entire town, from youth sports to Boy Scouts to Girl Scouts and other community organizations that support us. By giving back to our community, each and every one of these volunteers has a huge impact on the quality of life in our town. All of you are very much appreciated. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention our municipal employees, all of whom help run our town on a day-to-day basis. We are lucky to live in a town that is so well run. Our administration, our department heads, our employees all do a great job. Township Administrator Tim Quinn has tremendous dedication to our town and runs a very efficient operation here. Thank you, Tim. All our department heads are also to be commended for their dedication, and all our employees. We're just so thankful for everything you do, and I wish them all well in the coming year as well. This is my final year of my this is the final year of my fourth 3-year term on the Township Committee. And for those of you who are doing the math, based on my previous comment of those 12 years being across 19 years, that's because I have never held consecutive terms on this governing body. I've been through many close elections and lost my fair share of them, as some of you know. And then I had to step aside for personal reasons on a couple of other occasions. But I am hopeful that I can now serve consecutive terms for the first time, as my term is up at the end of 2025 and I need to run for re-election again. So I am proud to announce here tonight that I will be seeking another term on the Township Committee and will be filing my petition to be on the ballot later this year. I am so grateful for the opportunity to be able to continue to serve the community that I cherish so much. And now I'm excited to get to work here in 2025. I remind everyone that I always have residents' interest in mind when I make any type of decision. All of us on this dais are here to work with you and for you, and to make our town a great place for all of us. And some of you, as Mark mentioned, may not agree with everything that we do, but we really do have the general interest of our town at heart when we make every single decision up here. And we will ensure that we listen to the residents going forward as we continue to make our decisions. While we had many successes in 2024, we have more opportunities ahead of us in 2025. But as the mayor stated, we also have challenges before us. We have a lot of budget challenges with increasing health insurance and other types of insurance costs rising across the board. This governing body, along with Administrator Tim Quinn, are prepared to meet those challenges and deliver new successes for our community in the coming year. So thank you again to everybody who's joined us, both in the room and on Zoom. I very much appreciate your participation in this meeting, and I invite you back to attend all of our regular meetings throughout 2025. I hope I see some of you back here, and I wish everyone a happy and healthy 2025. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. We will now move forward with our agenda items. We have 14 resolutions on tonight's agenda. Madam Clerk, please read Resolution 01-25 through 14-25 by title only.
Resolution 01-25, establishing 13 standing committees and appointing members to same for the period of January 1 through December 31st, 2025. 02-25, appointing construction official and subcode officials for a 3-year term by the Township Committee of the Township of Morris, expiring December 31st, 2027. 03-25, establishing the following appointments to positions created by statute and/or ordinance of the Township of Morris. 04-25, appointing special police officer, Class 3, police matron, and school crossing guard for the Police Department of the Township of Morris for the period of January 1 through December 31, 2025. 05-25, appointing volunteer officers for the Fire Department of the Township of Morris for the period of January 1st through December 31st, 2025. 06-25, appointing deputy coordinators of the Office of Emergency Management for the Township of Morris for the period of January 1st through December 31st, 2025. 07-25, appointing professionals for the Township of Morris for the period of January 1st through December 31st, 2025. 08-25, establishing the 2025 Township Committee meeting schedule and the 2026 reorganization meeting at the Township of Morris Municipal Building, 50 Woodland Avenue, Morris Township, New Jersey, with regular meetings at 7 p.m. and closed session times at 5 or 5:30 as indicated. 09-25, authorizing certain public officials of the Township to carry on banking matters on behalf of the Township. 10-25, authorizing cash management plan as submitted by the municipal financial officer. 11-25, the temporary operating budget. 12-25, establishing interest rates and penalty on delinquent taxes and sewer fees, tax sale costs, and cancellation of small balances. 13-25, authorizing claimant signatures requirement policy. And 14-25, resolution authorizing the qualified purchasing agent of the Township of Morris to award window contracts over 17.5 and under the bid threshold of $44,000.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. May I have a motion to approve resolution numbers 01-25 through 14-25 as a block by a single motion?
Mayor, I'd ask that we pull 05-25 so I can vote, so I can recuse myself from that resolution. Fire
Okay,
department
yep.
officers.
Yep.
So Mayor, I'd like to move that we move resolutions 01-25 through 04-25 and then 06-25 through 14-25.
Second.
Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call vote?
Mr. Griselle,
Yes.
Mr. Ravitz.
Yes.
Mr. Jorfi.
Yes.
Mr. Janata.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor Gurglia.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. Now, may I have a motion to approve resolution 05-25?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call vote?
Mr. Janata.
Yes.
Mr. Griselle.
Yes.
Mr. Ravitz.
Yes.
Mayor Gurglia.
Yes. Before we conclude, I would like to invite everybody here to stay and join us for some refreshments immediately following the meeting. The benediction will now be given by Rabbi Adam Gilman from the Morristown Jewish Center. Yes, thank you.
Eternal source of wisdom, creator of all. We gather tonight to reflect on Morris Township's moment of renewal and reorganization. As this meeting ends, we offer our deepest gratitude for the dedication and service of those who step forward to lead and guide our community. Bless those who have accepted roles of responsibility here tonight, for mayor, deputy mayor, committee members, and all those who serve on boards and commissions, and all sorts of things for the betterment of our community. Grant them wisdom to discern the needs of the community, courage to face challenges, and the humility to hear the voices of all residents. May they act with fairness and compassion, always seeking the common good. We give thanks for the spirit of collaboration that makes this township and this town and this place home for so many. May our leaders and citizens work together in partnership, fostering greater respect, kindness, inclusion, and dignity. Strengthen the bonds between neighbors and fellow residents, so we all may build a community rooted in trust and shared purpose. In this new year, may our township be blessed with peace and prosperity. May our schools be a vibrant and safe place of learning and exploration. Our streets also safe, and may our homes be filled with love and affirmation. May we strive always to create a legacy of goodness for future generations, holding steadfast to our shared values of justice, equity, and care for one another. As we leave this meeting tonight, let us carry with us the hope that every small act of leadership, of showing up, serves and contributes to fostering of a greater community, one that we hold so dear. May we move forward together, committed to a vision of collaboration, strengthened across, yes, the things that we share, but also the things that divide us. Let us say, Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Rabbi Gilman. The time is now 7:58. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
See, nobody wants to adjourn.
No, let's stay here all night.
I'll second that.
I'll move it.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next Township Committee meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. with the closed session beginning at 5:30 p.m. The meeting will be held in person and a courtesy Zoom link will be provided for remote viewing. Thank you all and thank you to all of you on Zoom. Please have a great night.